Hi guys, Nimble Superman back again. It's been a while since I done a video. Or did a video. I know I say that every time, but it's true. It's really been a while. Because I'm always working or I've got school. But right now I've got my exams done now because I was doing intersession. So now I'm free for the rest of the summer. So that's kind of cool. You can tell it's summertime because I'm so warm right now. Friggin' sweating bad. It's super warm and humid here today, but we live well where I live. It's usually much cooler, but getting off track here. Just wanted to come and do a video, update you guys on my life. I've just finished exams. I also got tickets to go to Fan Expo in Toronto this year. If anybody wants to meet up or say hello or anything like that, I'd totally be game for that. It's kind of been a last minute decision to go to Fan Expo because me and my friends, we went to New York a couple of years ago. We went to Special Edition NYC, and now I think Special Edition is over with now, which is kind of sad because it was a pretty good event. If anybody doesn't know, basically the idea of it was let's take New York Comic Con and just make it about the comics, and that's what the event was, and it was pretty cool, I gotta say. I can see why it's kind of gone now. It just didn't get the support, I think is what it was. It just didn't get the support it needed, and it didn't catch on as much as I think people were really hoping for, because I think you can still have, the comic thing and the comic book thing, at the bigger cons like New York Comic Con and Fan Expo and that kind of thing. And I don't know, I've never been to a real big convention like Fan Expo, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a really fun experience. I'll update you guys on what it's like. So hopefully I'll be able to do a video like that. I'm hoping to be able to do a video when I'm down there, updating you guys, showing you the hotel I'm staying at and things like that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I got to work full time now the next 2 months to really save up for this trip. Um, like I said, it was a last minute kind of thing. But I guess the reason I'm going, the real deciding factor, Jason Fabik decided that he was going to attend and do a signing and that kind of thing at the Fan Expo this year. And when I heard him and David Finch were going, I was just like, well, that's the break. That's the tiebreaker right there, And plus, it's within Canada. I'm from Canada, so it's within Canada, so I don't have to travel outside the country or anything like that. And like I've been to New York, and I don't know, it just wasn't a great experience. Some of the people weren't great down there. Not the people in the convention. The convention was great, and all the people who attend because you're surrounded by fans. Everybody was really polite and everything. But it's really the people outside of the convention, the random people you meet on the street who are trying to get your money from schemes and things like that. They kind of ruin the trip a little bit. But I'm getting sidetracked here. Yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to do more videos. And I guess the original intent, getting to the original idea for the video, just wanted to update you guys really on DC and Rebirth and where it's at right now. I've done a video kind of talking about what is Rebirth, and kind of going through like the first week of the Rebirth titles, what they're like and what they're trying to do. And just I guess to recap you guys, Rebirth has just been really cool in my opinion. It's been really good. Yeah. Like it's been this real concerned effort to get back to the essence of the characters and not just saying we're doing that, but actually doing that. And that's really been the difference this time around, I really think. It's just been really, really awesome. Everybody's just firing on all cylinders. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman. Everybody is doing really freaking awesome right now. And I can't wait to talk about these books and let you guys know about them. I guess 2 books right off the bat, just wanted to talk about. They're not Rebirth titles, but they're just things that have happened separately. Just wanted to kind of let you guys know about it. There's this book I found in the back bins, Batman Scarface, a psychodrama. Wasn't as good as I was really hoping. because I really love the ventriloquist. I really love that concept of the split personality. But this story, I don't know what they were trying to do with it. Like, it just comes off as like awkwardly plotted, you know? Like, there ends up being like three dolls or puppets, whatever you want to call them, and one of them doesn't make sense. Like, there's this really cool element that like the doll was made of like this wood from like this place where they would hang people around Blackgate, I'm guessing, and it's not Scarface, and it turns out like it's not even that important. Like, this whole cool plot thread is not important at all. I didn't understand that at all. But other than that, I guess it was okay. Just kind of disappointing, I think, is the best way to put it. Just wanted to talk about it because it was something I read recently, bought recently. Just figured it'd be an interesting conversation. But the real thing I wanted to talk about, I guess I threw that one in there just because, but the real book I wanted to talk about just off the bat was Dark Knight, True Batman Story from Paul Dini. Man, I really truly recommend this book. Like my words just can't really, tell you just how much I really enjoyed this story. It's it's a personal story from Paul, and I really, obviously I don't even know who's going to hear this, but I really wanted to thank him for coming forward with this story. Because it's incredibly personal. At that level of personal that I don't know if I would be willing to go to the public and to tell you, some of your darkest moments, like legit dark moments in your life, and really personal things. Like, I don't know, for example, like seeing a therapist. That's one thing that a lot of people don't really talk about, you know. Um, I just can't speak highly enough of this book. I guess to give you the gist of it, back in the day, Paul Dini was a writer for Batman the Animated Series, and during that time, he was brutally attacked by two people, and he was almost dead. Like, it was a really bad attack, and it scarred him, man. Like it would, it leaves you vulnerable. It just kills you, man. Like, it really does. And I guess a lot of what this book is, he's kind of talking about is this idea of, him looking up to like such a great justice fulfilling character like Batman. And on that night, it was kind of all for naught. Batman wasn't there because Batman's not real, and he kind of lost faith a little bit. And through the events of just kind of talking about it, and over time, letting time kind of heal. And one of the lines that really got me was, he talks about, he says that it took me a long time to realize, it's really personal. It took me a long time to realize that you were there that night. Like, because a lot of the time he's talking to Batman, like in his own personal thoughts and everything. It's such a great book. Honest to God, just go buy it. Please, just go buy it. It's unbelievable, man. Just unbelievable. It's at a pretty good price, too, for a hardcover, I gotta say. It's really affordable. And if you've ever been a fan of Paul Dini, people, who do Batman the Animated Series, you just owe it to yourself to really read this book. I can't say enough great things about it, honestly. It's just, it was a real page turner. Like, honest to God, nothing else entered my mind when I was reading that book. Like, it was just constantly just flipping through while I was reading it. It was an unbelievable story. Really great. Thank you, Paul. In all honesty, thank you for coming forward with this story. It was just a really heartfelt, heartwarming story of perseverance. And it was just, I can't say enough nice things about it. Thank you. Okay, getting to Rebirth. Segue from talking about Batman to what Batman's going on in the comics right now. And I guess for people who don't know, right now DC's changed their whole lineup in terms of how they put out their books. And right now with Batman, there's kind of two books on the go. Well, there's going to be a third one with the All Star Batman and Robin. Or no, All Star Batman. Yeah, I'm thinking All Star Batman and Robin from like Jim Lee and Frank Miller. But no, it's called All Star Batman. And like in the two Batman titles, the main Batman title, one Tom King is doing, it's kind of like just Batman. It's really like a kind of a solo Batman kind of story. Now, Detective Comics is kind of the Bat Family book. And when they first announced it, I didn't know how interested I was going to be, because I just come off Batman and Robin Eternal. And I wasn't hugely fond of that story because I didn't like where, Dick Grayson was at with the spy thing and Spiral. I just hate that whole era of Dick Grayson so much, man. And a lot of it is dominated by that, so I think that kind of ruined my enjoyment of it. But this is great. Like, Detective Comics, man. Like, I just can't say enough good things about it. It's, like, I think one of the things that kind of stopped me from getting into James Tynion stories is I've just never really been fond of his ideas. Like, they've never really clung at me. They've always seemed mediocre and just, who cares, Even though I think he's a good writer. I think his perspective on the characters and who they are and what they're all about, I think he's so spot on with them. It's scary, man, like how much he intimately knows these characters. And finally, that strength that he has is put to good use with this Bat Family book. I guess to give you the gist, Batman is there, and he sees this threat coming, and he doesn't think that a lot of the people around him are ready for this. He seems to know more than he's letting on about it, and what he's doing is he's really recruiting Batwoman. He's really bringing her into the fold more, because she's kind of been on the outside a good bit, but now she's really in the Bat Family now. And he's kind of using her to help train the other members, to get them ready because they kind of need it. Spoiler in the New 52, not spoiler as in spoiler, but spoiler the character. She's kind of new. She's only really come up in the first Eternal. Stephanie Brown. She's in terms of New 52. She's just kind of coming up. You got Orphan Cassandra Cain. She really just came in Batman and Robin Eternal. I don't think Tim needs the training because Tim, I guess in New 52, still has that history. I mean, he's Red Robin, for God's sakes. He's his own hero. And Clayface is there, and they're kind of this whole team, and they're training, and they're getting ready for this whole thing. And it's just so good, man. I can't say enough great things about it. I thought I was going to enjoy it. Like, I didn't think I was going to hate it, but I didn't know how much I was going to enjoy it. And I can tell you wholeheartedly, I love it. Love it. Moving on to next, Superman Action Comics. If you'll notice, it's gone back to its original numbering, 958. And it's pretty good, man. Like, obviously I've gone over before with what's going on with Superman and Rebirth. We've got pre-crisis not pre-crisis, Jesus, pre-Flashpoint Superman in the fold, and he's Superman, and he's going around. And obviously a lot of the things that have happened before are still on the go. Like, everybody knows that Clark Kent is Superman. Lex Luthor is going around acting like he's Superman, and we seem to have a Doomsday. That's not the New 52 universe's Doomsday. Seems to be pre-Flashpoint. And it seems like this strange character, Mr. Oz, is going to play a big part in it. And, gosh, it's interesting. It's probably the most excited for Superman I've been in quite some time, to be honest with you. Because it's just so good. It hits on all cylinders, man. The art team is good. I think this is the best art team we've had in New 52, like by far. It's just great, man. I can't say enough nice things about it. It's just fantastic. I enjoy it a lot. Justice League 52. This is interesting because this is the Lex Luthor, I guess, prequel to the whole Superman thing. It kind of explains more of what he's doing, why he's got the suit, why he's acting like Superman and that kind of thing. And it's interesting, man. It works. I would say above everything else, what makes this issue so cool is it feels like it's a return to continuity. Because, like, man, I felt like that was a huge problem with New 52. Everybody was kind of going off and doing their own things, and nothing ever really felt like it connected at all. But this book really makes the connections, like, especially when you consider Darkseid War. Because it makes that connection of like, why Lex Luthor wasn't around during the whole Truth arc, and Clark Kent getting his identity revealed. He wasn't around for that, and I was always thinking like, what the hell was he doing? But he was over on Apocalypse because if you read the end of Darkseid War, that's what happened with him. He was ruling over Apocalypse, and he seems to still have that presence on Apocalypse. He's just felt like he's got to come home because Metropolis is his home. It's kind of interesting how he's kind of a hero, but he's not Superman, and I love how I think Jurgens writes this. Yeah, I think so. And I love how he makes that connection, that he's not Superman, And I love, like, because especially with BVS, I just hated Lex Luthor and BVS because they took Lex and they made him insane. And, like, Lex isn't insane. Like, I feel like any Superman fan would tell you that. Like, he's not insane. So it's kind of annoying, like, watching that version, to be honest with you, because it's just so wrong. Yeah, and another thing, they talk about Lena, because Lena, his sister, basically betrayed him, like, in Darkseid War. And it was, for the longest time, it was like, well, where's Lena? What's she doing? And now we get that answer. Flash #1. This isn't the Rebirth special. This is actually the first issue in the ongoing series. And it's great. I love Josh Williamson. I love what he's doing with Flash. I gotta be honest, I hate the art. It's like, it's more sloppy than detailed. Even though, there's a bit of detail. I can't say it's like 100% sloppy. And it might be just the guy's style, but I'm just not a fan of it, to be honest with you guys. But I just love his direction. I love where his head's at. I love that he understands Barry Allen and the Flash. I knew I was gonna like this guy, and it really shows. He got this new character, August, and basically his friend August, this other detective, he becomes a speedster. That's the gist of the issue, and it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes, because that's what the whole kind of new thing with Flash and Rebirth is. He's kind of recruiting, these new speedsters. You got Tom King doing Batman. I think I've already talked about this issue, to be honest with you. But it's really nice. It's a really nice issue. Yeah. What I like about it is it takes this idea of exploring Batman in a world of superheroes. And it tries to kind of go through, why is it Batman should be the hero of Gotham? What makes Batman so great in a world with people of superpowers? And it kind of goes through that, like, with this plane going down and Batman there. And you got these other two supposed heroes, Gotham and Gotham Girl. I hate their names. I hate their designs, but I like what they represent. They represent these superpowered people that they're going to show Batman up, supposedly. And I just love this direction. I love where it's going. And sorry, it's my dog. Hopefully it's going to be good. I think it is. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, I don't have much time here. Kind of looking over Green Lanterns. I hate the names for the books, because Green Lanterns, it's pretty good, man. Like, I can honestly say that it's safe to go back to Green Lantern. I say that because I think a lot of people kind of gave up on the Venditti kind of run, me included. Like, because I was reading Jeff Johns' Green Lantern, and then when that ended, they did Lights Out, and after Lights Out, I was like, I'm done. Like, Venditti he's just fucking it up. Like, he just totally changed the mythos. And it's like, it's not that that mythos element is gone that Venditti introduced, but it's kind of ignored now. you know, um, this is really cool, man. If you haven't figured it out from the cover, Trostis, Bleeze, they're on the cover. It's all about the Red Lanterns, man, and it's all about Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and exploring them. I just can't say enough nice things about this book. Honestly, I think it's great. I really think everybody should read it. I think it's that good. Wonder Woman, really good, man. Really good. I figured it was going to be good. Greg Rucka. I never really read any Greg Rucka on Wonder Woman, but just one second. Yeah, I never really read any Greg Rucka Wonder Woman, but I heard a lot of nice things about it. Uh, so I knew for a fact. I knew I was picking up Wonder Woman before Greg Rucka, but it's nice to see that Greg Rucka is actually really goddamn good. yeah. Um, it's interesting with this book because they're going to be exploring Wonder Woman's origin, and then they're kind of doing a present day kind of story, and it seems like it's going to be with Cheetah. So that's going to be really interesting. Yeah. I don't want to say retcon, but they're kind of gonna. I think they're gonna retcon some things. They're gonna explore her origin, and they're gonna really shake things up a good bit. I can't think of a better time to be on Wonder Woman. I think you'd want to pick up the Rebirth special because I think it's important. There's another one here, my last one, Aquaman. This is really good. Like, honestly, I can't think of a better time to get into Aquaman. Dan Abnett is writing it. It's super good, man. Super good. I can't say enough nice things about it. It's really about Black Manta. yeah. It, I don't want to give anything away, but there are some surprises in this book. The one issue, man, it's just like seriously, it's really good. Do yourself a favor, pick this up. Um, I guess the gist of it is, they're kind of exploring this idea that Arthur wants Atlantis to be recognized in the world, like as like a country, because when you think about it, like the world in that universe, they don't talk about Atlantis. They kind of treat Atlantis like they don't exist. Arthur wants to turn the table and say, yes, we exist. We want a seat at like, the United Nations and like all this kind of stuff. We belong there. We're people. We belong there. So it's a lot of that, and then Black Manta thrown in there with some really good dialogue. Dan, he tries to do comedy. I don't think his comedy dialogue is good, but the rest of his dialogue is like fucking magical. And he's got great ideas, and that to me is like half the battle if you're going to be a writer, man. That's half the battle to have good ideas, and he's got them in spades. So yeah, kind of running out of time here. I just wanted to kind of check in, just tell you what's up. I'm going to be at Fan Expo this year. This is just some of the books I've been reading. Yeah, I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.